Gunna seems to be throwing shade at Young Thug's crazy furry fit from the 2025 BET Awards. You know how these two have been beefing behind the scenes, and now Gunna's clapping back at Thug's wild style? Here's what's up. Alright y'all, let's talk about that moment at the 2025 BET Awards that literally broke the internet. Young Thug's insane furry mask and fuzzy tie combo. No joke. This look was next level eccentric, like he dipped straight into a shag carpet for his outfit. You couldn't not notice it. Social media went wild, and everyone was trying to figure out whether it was fashion forward or just plain extra. But while fans were buzzing about Thug's bold style, one name popped up on everyone's lips: Gunna. Now there's no official proof Gunna openly roasted Young Thug's look, but there are some subtle digs, and it seems Gunna low-key clowned Thug's furry BET outfit. Here's where the tea gets extra. Gunna and Young Thug haven't exactly been besties lately. Their history runs deep. They were once tight, vibing on tracks and life, but recent years have seen some real tension. You probably caught Gunna covering up his YSL tattoo. Yeah, the one tied to Thug's label and legacy. And Young Thug's been throwing some very low-key shade back on social media and music. Nothing direct, but those who follow the scene know when a clapback lands without words. So, when Thug showed up at BET with that wild furry fit, fans were quick to speculate. Did Gunna see that and chuckle? Or maybe even drop a subtle diss in private or on his socials? We know Gunna is sharp and doesn't hold back in his music or public appearances. Some insiders say Gunna was spotted smirking when Thug was getting all that attention. But again, no receipts, just rumors. Now why would Gunna do such a thing? Well, if you think about it, the BET Awards stage isn't just about awards. It's a fashion battlefield. Celebs use looks to flex, to shock, to send messages to rivals or ex-friends. Thug's furry look was so out there that it definitely raised eyebrows. And in this game, raising eyebrows sometimes means throwing shade. Gunna is known for keeping his drip sharp but not usually wild like that. Might have seen it as a soft target, especially given their rocky relationship. It wouldn't be a surprise if Gunna thought, "Girl, you look like you lost a bet." Plus, Gunna's been cleaning up his image lately, covering tattoos, shifting vibes, so Thug's extra fuzzy mask and tie might have felt like a throwback to old times, or even a way to say, "Look at me, I'm still the king of bold." Gunna could have easily taken that as a slight or just plain weird flex. But it's all speculation for now. No one's dropped a single video, tweet, or interview confirming Gunna threw direct shade at Thug's look. The tea is just that, tea. Fans love connecting dots and reading between the lines, especially when two artists with a complicated past are involved. Sometimes the quiet moments and side-eye glances speak louder than words. So while Gunna could have clowned Thug's furry BET outfit behind the scenes, or with a sly comment in passing, we don't have the receipts to say that for sure. One thing is clear though, their drama isn't going anywhere soon, and every public appearance is another chance for fans to speculate and analyze every look, word, and gesture. The fashion, the music, the tattoos, it all tells a story. So, will Gunna ever openly roast Thug's wild BT drip? Probably not anytime soon, but you better believe the internet will keep reading into every vibe until something spills for real. What do you think of Gunna and Thug's relationship? Do you think they will ever patch things up? Tell us all about it down below.
We got married April 6th and divorced May 28th.
So you're divorced?
Yes.
Y'all, Brittany, Renner, and Kevin Gates really had the streets talking this year. One minute, they were talking about soul connections and spiritual love, and the next, boom, divorced in less than 2 months. Like, not even a full season. And to top it all off, folks are out here whispering about a possible pregnancy. Let's unpack it. So first off, let's be real. Brittany and Kevin have been circling each other for years. Kevin even name-dropped her back in 2018. And y'all know Kevin don't just name-drop for no reason. They had that low-key, on-and-off kind of energy. You'd see little hints online, social media flirtations, music video cameos, and rumors bubbling under the surface. But things hit a whole new level when Brittany announced she had converted to Islam in August 2024. That's when the vibe between her and Gates got more spiritual, more intentional. Fast forward to April 6th, 2025, they're married. Quietly. They didn't even go public until May. Brittany was in love, okay? In interviews, she was talking about how Kevin was the man she quite literally dreamed of. She made it sound deep, not some clout thing, but something rooted in faith, emotion, and mutual growth. A lot of folks were rooting for them, but then divorce hits, and then, boom, out of nowhere, Brittany files for divorce on May 28th, just 52 days after they tied the knot. No mess, no scandal, just done. People were confused, like, what happened? Brittany's been pretty open since the split. She said she's not mad, she's not bitter, and she doesn't regret it. According to her, it was something she followed her heart into, and when it wasn't aligning anymore, she followed her faith right back out. She said, this is a nice 90-day reset. So here's where folks started side-eyeing. Brittany mentioned the Islamic 90-day waiting period after a divorce. It's called Iddah, and part of the reason for it is to see if the woman is pregnant.
But there is a 90-day waiting period in Islam where it's basically you have 90 days to see if you're pregnant, because then he would be responsible, right?
Now, Brittany never said she was pregnant, but when you bring up pregnancy rules and then don't deny anything outright, yeah, the street's gonna talk, and talk they did. Blogs started speculating, is Brittany pregnant with Kevin's baby? But let's be clear, there's no confirmed pregnancy. Brittany hasn't made any announcements, and there's no credible source saying she's expecting. She just said she's using that time to reflect, grow, and stay out of romantic entanglements. The internet don't need much to run with a story, though, especially when it's Brittany, who's been open about her past relationships and motherhood journey. So, is she? Isn't she? We don't know yet, but that clock is ticking, and we'll probably know by the end of that 90-day window. And where's Kevin in all this? Well, so far he hasn't said a word. He's been completely quiet about the marriage, the divorce, and the rumors. That's rare for Kevin, who usually lets his feelings spill in his music or interviews. So either he's really at peace with how things ended, or he's cooking up a verse we definitely ain't ready for. Now, you're asking yourself, was the marriage even real? Was it a clout grab, a publicity stunt? Honestly, from what Brittany said, it doesn't seem like that. This wasn't a fake Vegas wedding or some wild PR move. This felt like two people who really thought they could build something spiritual, something grounded. But sometimes, even with all that love and intention, it just doesn't work. It's also worth noting, Brittany's been evolving. She's not the same girl from the PJ Washington headlines. She's on a faith walk now. That doesn't mean she's perfect, but it does mean she's probably moving different. Same with Kevin. He's been on his own spiritual tip too. They just didn't sync the way they hoped. But we want to hear back from you now. Do y'all think this was real love or a spiritual situationship that just moved too fast? And should we be expecting a baby announcement or a diss track? Let us know all about it down below.